Welcome to the deep dive. So today we're looking at a pretty interesting case study. You've brought in a whole stack of material on a consumer product.
That's right. It's called the Swing Ease Pro Lumbar Support Belt.
And our goal here isn't to review the product itself, but to really dissect the marketing. We're treating this as a deep dive into consumer transparency and how claims are made.
Yeah, and I have to jump in here and be perfectly clear. This is purely educational commentary.
Right.
We are analyzing the marketing claims against the evidence that's available. This is not medical advice. We're not telling you to buy or to avoid anything.
For sure. Always talk to a healthcare professional for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's unpack this, starting at the top of the sales funnel, really. The visuals.
The visuals, yes.
The sources right away point out something kind of off about the product photography.
They do. They note that a lot of the images, well, they seem to be generic stock photos.
Yeah.
You see the same images floating around on the internet for similar but not identical products.
And what does that signal to you?
Well, what's fascinating here is what it suggests about the brand's investment. An established company will almost always use its own proprietary photography.
To show the details of fit, the actual material.
Exactly. When you see generic images, it raises an immediate question. How accurately does this picture represent the physical thing that's going to show up at your door?
That's a good baseline for transparency. So from there, let's get into the main event, really. The biomechanical claims.
This is where it gets really interesting.
They make some pretty significant assertions here. They talk about stabilizing the spine, preventing disc stress.
Reducing muscle fatigue and irritation. And they get very, very specific. They actually target the L1 to L5 vertebrae.
L1 to L5. I mean, that sounds incredibly precise. Almost surgical.
It's a rhetorical choice, right? It sounds authoritative and leverages this technical anatomical language to build confidence. And this is the key part. The sources we have point out that these strong claims, they don't seem to have any readily available attribution.
Meaning no links to peer-reviewed studies, no independent test results.
Nothing like that. No official certifications like an ISO standard that you might expect. The claims are just there.
So if they did have legitimate data for something like spinal stabilization, what would we even expect to see? What would that look like?
You'd be looking for clinically controlled trials. Something that shows how it performs against, say, a control group, or biomechanical testing with rigs that measure load reduction.
Real numbers.
Real, verifiable data. Without that, especially for a claim as precise as L1 to L5, it feels like the language is designed to sound knowledgeable without offering any actual proof.
So if the scientific claims are a bit thin on attribution, it seems the marketing materials try to make up for it with high-pressure tactics.
Oh, absolutely. The sales pitch is full of urgency triggers.
Like save 40%, low stock.
Get yours today, all of it. And if you connect that to the bigger picture, these techniques are really designed to rush you, to get you to click buy before you have time to ask the very questions we're asking now.
Before you can go looking for those independent studies.
Exactly. And on top of that, there's a huge disparity in the consumer feedback that's available.
How so?
The company's own website, it's full of glowing 5-star testimonials. But when the sources looked for independent third-party reviews on sites like Trustpilot or even on social media,
Let me guess.
a real lack of them. So the overall user experience, it just can't be verified externally. It's a closed loop of information.
So wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you, the listener, when you're evaluating a product, especially one making health-related claims?
I mean, it shows that analyzing the attribution of a claim is just as important as reading the claim itself.
If a product uses highly technical language, you should really expect to see some equally technical proof to back it up.
That's the bottom line. And I guess the final thought I'd leave you with is a question to ask yourself. If a company's claims sound like they came from a research lab, but their marketing tactics feel more like a high-pressure sales floor, how should you weigh that discrepancy? It's a pretty strong indicator of where their real priorities might lie.